Let's start with the question. What is the proper way to throw objects at my assailants? Sometimes there just isn't a gun nearby that isn't in an enemy's hands and they're too far for me to steal from. It's times like these when you just have to fling whatever is nearby at the enemies. Unfortunately, I must be doing something horribly wrong because my projectiles tend to go above, below, or around the enemies. And that's assuming I don't just drop them directly in front of me. I've been trying to hit the move button at different points in my throw as well as changing my throwing motion, seeing if I can find the sweet spot. But it's just not happening. Is there a proper way to throw? Time to hit the button to release the object so that the pan, cup, bottle, stapler actually goes where I want it to. So how can we solve this? There are 3 possible answers. Answer 1. Try not using a throwing motion but instead a pushing motion with the said object in the correct orientation in your hand. Answer 2. I would have to say it depends which headset you're using. I'm playing on the VV. The throw controls are on the secondary trigger, used by your middle finger. Objects are picked up by squeezing and holding said trigger, then thrown by releasing the trigger at the end of the throw motion. This has felt pretty reasonable for me. My buddy is using the Samsung headset, and those controllers only have one set of triggers. I'm not sure how the throwing controls are implemented there. Edit. On re-reading your question, I don't know what you refer to as the move button. Could you elaborate, and mention which headset you're using? Edit 2. Given that you said the controls are similar, the only information I could add is to make sure you release the throw button before your arm stops moving. It hasn't been foolproof for me, but works a majority of the time. Answer 3. If you've ever played darts, using that throwing motion helps with accuracy because it lowers the chance of jerk motions ruining the arc. If not, look at this example. Move only your forearm, not the whole arm, and try to keep your wrist still. Just as a general, both me and my guests have struggled with throwing objects in many but not all VR games. It's not as easy as it first appears. And most games tend to only model the arc based on the last movement of the hand instead of accounting for the inertia of the object ever since you started moving it. This is no different from back when click dragging with inertia became popular, and early instances would often suffer if your very last move before releasing the button was a slightly different jerk motion. I hope these answers helped, and if they did, please drop a comment and subscribe.